So, we are about due to arrive at Novi. It took us 3 weeks to get here. We had to make a pit stop because we measured the pressure wrong in the induction manifold.
You measured the pressure wrong in the induction manifold.
I measured the pressure wrong in the induction manifold, and of course the job that required numbers was assigned to the person who is not part computer.
I've redone the roster, but Ria likes to ruminate.
Anyway, we'll stop at the port in Novi system, top up our O2, then we'll head down to meet the contact guy who has our thing and deliver him his thing. Then we get back in orbit, install our thing into the Nova, and go faster than anybody from the 21st century ever did.
Unless you aren't the only person to travel forward in time.
We still have to pay the guy, which we have enough for. I thought we'd have more after we delivered that lady's dog to the port at Decidian.
You then insisted on here die.
I rescind my previous statement. Morale during long space flights is very crucial. Even if the part works and we get the gravity drive working properly, I still have no idea what direction I'm putting the Nova in. Every time we take a job or stop long enough to talk to someone, I ask for any info on Earth, or even just a vague direction that they think humanity originated from. So far, anyone who has had an opinion, well, it's producing results that are trending in the same general area, which is good. It's not super specifically helpful because it's still thousands of light years worth of potential rumored locations, but I don't know. I've also been collecting the dates that planets and colonies were established, and so far we have been tracking backwards chronologically, which is just another vague reassurance that we are going in the right direction, but not much else. Everything is wonky. No one knows anything solid. The zealous workers at the port can't give me any of the information I want, despite having access to the outernet, which I get is probably significantly more dense and just in general bigger than the old internet, but what happened to the simplicity of typing directions to Earth into a search bar? I just want to go home.
We are approaching the Venice port. Should I request docking?
No, I'll do it. Get the part, fix the ship, fly off into the sunset. Knock on wood. I love how the port never warns us about the state of our destination's weather. Look at that storm coming in.
The atmospheric energy is intense. Perhaps start asking specifically at the spaceports?
They probably charge for weather reports. They probably charge just for asking if they charge for it.
The inbound center should be able to provide a report.
The contact said he'd be here at 12, so if he sticks to that, we can be in and out before it hits. No reports needed.
I'll cross my fiber optic nodes.
Be advised, the last shuttle to Delacour will depart in 2 minutes.
Hurry up, I'm not getting stuck here.
Busy.
Worse than a port?
Not even by half.
How can I help you, sir?
Hi, I'm meeting someone here, and he told me to meet by the 8th terminal.
Absolutely. Over your left shoulder, you'll see the green pillar. Head over there and follow the corridor beyond it till you see the purple pillar, and you're there.
Damn, I wish port workers were half as clear and helpful as you.
Glad to be of service.
Wowee, maybe the whole galaxy isn't built on pricks after all.
We have met many nice people.
The pricks really stand out though, you feel?
Maybe.
You good?
Yeah, so good.
Um,
I'm getting some strange new interference from the storm. Tastes like peppermint.
should I be concerned?
Or at least what I imagine it tastes like.
Okay, maybe you just take a nap, yeah?
Okie dokie.
I don't know what I think about that. Crisis, that moved in fast.
Shuttle from Upper Condison arriving now, Terminal 8.
Purple pillar. I'd have specified magenta, but that's close enough to purple, I guess.
Cutting a little close, don't you think? I don't care how new the shuttle are, that pilot was playing a little too fast and loose for my taste.
Hey, you Nova, or whatever.
Rhea, Nova, Commander, yes.
Whatever. Here's your secondary primary starter. You got my package?
Be a bad courier if I didn't.
You still owe me 40 for the parts.
Yeah.
Easy doing business? I hope it was worth it.
I'm pretty sure the phrase was pleasure doing wait, worth what?
The storm. Nobody's famous for them.
What about it?
What with them lasting 2 weeks, and grounding all vessels under Class 5 and such.
2 weeks.
Hence the nickname. Planet nobody's leaving when the rain hits.
2 weeks.
The whole planet relies on them gathering power in the storm turbines. Maybe you ain't much of a courier after all.
Wait a damn second.
How can I help you, sir?
Hi, me again.
Heard something about being unable to get off planet during a storm. Would love some more information on that.
Yes, sir. Nobi is famous for its Category Delta storms. The entire planet is powered by harnessing the overwhelming ferocity to generate renewable energy.
And my Class 3 ship?
Like a leaf in a blender. The first colony used long, bored tunnels carved through Nobi's beautiful mountain ranges to travel between the cities during the storms.
Okay, but I can't just wait here for 2 weeks. I need alternatives.
A pilgrimage is due to leave in 1 hour. It hasn't reached capacity yet.
What's that?
Although the tunnels are largely unused since the arrival of Class 4 and above vessels on Nobi, scheduled pilgrimage parties still hike the tunnels for recreation, historical preservation, and tradition.
And what good does that do me?
The party is heading for Lower Condison. That pilgrimage is 2 days in duration. You can hire a retrieval service to deliver your own vessel to Lower Condison, ready for your arrival.
So a 2-day hike versus a 2-week sit around with a dopey AI.
Ions in the storm are harmless to people, but can cause some tech to perform strangely. Our rare deep ground minerals can cause a similar effect in the tunnels.
Oh goody. What's it cost to pilgrim?
You'll need a supply pack. You get to keep the life vest after too, for only 100 credits.
Where do I go?
To your left, you'll see a yellow pillar. Follow the corridor till you reach the first terminal at the red pillar.
Red pillar. Got it. Cheers.
Glad to be of service.
Clearly Ilya didn't cross her nodes tight enough. Hey, how you doing in there? What's good? Are you drunk?
That's what this feeling is, maybe.
I hope it's not causing you any permanent damage.
I'll let a girl live a little.
Okay, back to bed, young lady. I'm pretty sure you are not of legal age to indulge in atmospheric ions.
I'll atmospheric your ions.
Oh, justice.
Now it's absolutely imperative that you stay with the group. There is only one tunnel with no side paths to take, but being in one group is imperative in the event of... Oh, we have another pilgrim?
You said imperative twice.
I was given the safety spiel. Will I be starting again? It's imperative that all 4 of you hear the entire thing, and I need your info.
Thrice.
He's actually up to 8.
Your name, sir?
Ria Nova, REA. I need to ask about a supply pack too?
Yep, we can get that sorted for you. I am Damo, your guide for this pilgrimage. Your fellow pilgrims are Dr. Bettany,
It's actually my 4th time.
Mr. Reuben Grange,
Lovely to meet you.
and Ms. Tilda Yang.
Pleasure.
Kia ora.
Now we will be travelling with a tunnel safety bot, but wearing your life vest at all times is imperative. Robert will keep the ceiling from coming down on us and dig through any potential blockages, but if the air gets a little thin, then that's what these babies are for.
Not to be that person, but I'm new here, so I've got to ask. How safe are these tunnels exactly?
There is a reason they are mostly avoided these days.
362 pilgrimages with 0 incidents, and that streak will not be broken on my watch.
It's just extra precautions, really. Better safe than sorry.
There's only been 2 partial collapses since the planet fall, both minor and also caused by vehicle error in the larger tunnels.
The Lower Condison Tunnel is pedestrian only, of course. Robert is the largest thing that can pass through, so she'll be right.
Knock on wood.
We depart in 45 minutes, so I'm going to blast through the safety talk like a roux on roids, then we'll be gearing up and heading out, so get your T's dotted and your I's crossed by then.
Don't let me hold you back.
Rightio then. Rule 1. When on a pilgrimage, you must always stay in your group.
This is not what I was expecting from a life vest.
You've never seen one?
Well, not recently, but where I'm from, it's an actual vest, and it's for buoyancy in water.
Oh, okay. These were actually developed from a Croyd device. In an emergency, they deploy a protective holodome over your head and can provide 2 hours of air, even in vacuum.
Life vest for space. Wow.
These are pretty archaic models, though.
I don't know if I'd trust one of these with my dome in outer space.
Better odds than without one if the hull breaches.
Yeah, it's super easy to die in space.
You're a commander, right? I would have thought a vest is standard with all fleets these days.
No fleet, just me.
A private vessel.
Why in Anira's Green Grove would you be doing a pilgrimage?
Alrighty people, let's roll out.
I got held up at port by a mouth breather debating the pilot. Missed my shuttle, of course. If I had a private vessel, you wouldn't catch me pilgrimaging.
A cascade of cock-ups. Another one made this my best option.
Alrighty, this is Robert. Say hi, Rob.
I am Robert.
Oh, hi, Rob.
Now that's a robot.
Party will move in pairs. Mr. Grange and Miss Yang, Dr. Bettany and Ria, Rob in the rear, and me in the front. You will hold this formation until the first rest zone, follow all the rules, and let's have ourselves a bloody good grimmage.
Damn, the tunnel really just comes right up to the centre, huh?
That's what they were built for.
The centre is so modern and fancy looking though, and this just looks like an old mine from the American Gold Rush.
The others are a little more established, less organic. which is why this one is my favourite.
You're a doctor, but I'm getting scientist, not medical from you. Geology?
Wow, 2 for 2.
You've walked a bare rock tunnel 4 times, and the clerk mentioned funky minerals, so I assume that's the draw.
They can even glow when in potent concentration.
You come to look at pretty rocks. That's not a terrible reason. I'm hoping I don't start getting claustrophobic.
Just imagine it's a corridor on a ship. It's open space on the other side of that hull, not solid stone.
Huh. Nice.
You'll have a good time. It's a really peaceful experience.
I wouldn't hate that.
There you go then. Just be in the moment.
Alright. In the moment.
You look like you were trying to not throw up.
Yeah, I don't like the feeling of progress slowing to a halt.
Depends what you think of as progress. Do you want a distraction? I could tell you more about rocks.
Hit me.
Well, the mineral I mentioned, nobonite, is actually a really solid energy source. Only you'd have to strip the whole planet for enough to fuel a single astroliner. It's got the grunt, but mass and supply would be an issue, and the storms provide a far greater and more reliable power source, so the nobonite is left alone.
Some impressive restraint from humanity.
The nobonite in the tunnels caused issues for the equipment used in the initial war work. Interference with the navigational systems meant a couple tunnels ended up not quite aligning right, until they determined the issue and found solutions. That's why Robert is not affected.
I am Robert.
Yeah, my AI isn't as fortunate, and I'm a little concerned.
It will be fine. It's like light passing through a prism. It isn't damaged, it just comes out in a different direction is all.
Her personality is refracting into colourful wavelengths. Sounds like being intoxicated.
Sure. You said you travel alone, so your AI is like your little travel buddy.
Yeah, she's important to me.
Well, of course. Humans get attached to anything we spend close time with. We're sentimental, especially if our companions can converse with us. I can't ride any of the turbo lifts at the university without saying thank you to the voice that announces I've arrived at my floor.
She does a little more than that, but I get what you're saying.
My notes tell me we're almost at the first nobonite pocket.
You have this whole trick mapped, huh?
Yep. Only have a few moments to view each formation, so I make it count. I scan the wavelengths and output of each pocket to check for any variations, take a photo for visual comparison, and an ambient light measurement just to cover all my bases.
You want me to take the photo so you can focus on the science part?
That'd be great! Here it comes now.
Oh. Whoa.
This is actually one of the larger pockets that we'll see.
When you said glow, I expected... Wow.
Ethereal, right? Photo, please.
It's like seeing energy, not just light.
Keep it moving back there, team.
Yes, boss. You see why I'm here a 4th time now, huh?
Yeah, there's nothing close to that where I'm from. I mean, I've never been close enough to the elephant's foot to confirm its visual deal, but I'm pretty sure.
Nobonite exists only here, the name being a hint. So I've been trying to understand how and why. Even samples I've taken back to the university behave completely differently.
Maybe it's the conditions of Nobi that gives them the energy, not the other way around. Even the rocks need the familiar storms to feel like themselves.
Huh. I've only ever seen the tunnel pockets during the storms because that's when the pilgrimages happen. A plausible theory.
You're welcome.
What familiar storm are you missing?
What?
The look in your eyes when you said that.
You minor in psychology?
No, but my wife did before switching to art history. Not that I learnt how to understand people from her.
Earth.
Earth?
My planet. I'm trying to find it.
Earth. Doesn't sound familiar.
I figured.
But I do know people in the astrological science and history departments at the uni.
Wait, astrological history? That's a thing?
Sure. Humans are so widespread now. Keeping accurate records of everything is pretty important.
That might be exactly what I've been looking for.
I can get you in touch. The uni is a couple systems away, but as a commander of a vessel, that's hardly an issue.
This is the first solid lead I've gotten.
I just need one tiny thing.
What?
Be here, now, in the tunnel with us.
Oh,
All these exact atoms came together to create this moment, ours too. And what are the odds? Experience it with me.
yeah, I can do that. Goddamn.
Can't sleep either, huh?
Even with the breathing, it's too quiet. I'm used to the sound of the Nova, the constant white noise of the engine.
I'm used to a mattress thicker than 2-ply tissue.
Never went to a scout camp with just a sleeping bag and an Everfoam mat, huh?
No.
I do have to say, and I assume this comes across as a compliment, but you seem much fancier than a pilgrimage through a dimly lit rock tunnel.
As I say, this would have not been any of my first 3 choices, but I am not one to sit idle in a station for 2 weeks, and I am not afraid of a challenge.
I respect that.
You yourself said you own a private vessel. And not to be rude either, but you don't exactly seem out of place in such circumstances as these.
Is that really so rare, a private vessel?
Put it this way. I come from old money, from the early days of zealous stock investing right before the boom. And my family line right up to and including myself have never owned one.
Wow. Well, mine was a gift.
A gift.
And I don't know how he got it, but he worked for Zealous. He makes some pretty cool stuff too, so I imagine they paid him well.
Well enough to simply gift away a private vessel.
I don't know. He didn't use her for 20 years, so he didn't exactly need her.
Didn't use? Well, he sounds like an absolute hermit.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Hermit.
I'm sorry?
Oh, my bad. The rocks were messing with my AI unit. Go back to sleep, Lee.
An AI unit? Another gift from this friend?
Yeah, it's what he did for Zealous, programming AI.
Well, that explains his wealth.
I wouldn't call him wealthy. Like, he hasn't worked for them for 20 years, and his home is in a mansion. It did have a hangar for a garage, and the rest was reasonable sized. It was hardly a spaceport apartment, I guess, but Villafort didn't look super different than where I'm from.
Villafort? Good Anira.
What?
Well, if he's lived there for 20 years, it would have been a brand new colony at the time.
And?
Where are you from? It means the prices to settle would have been astronomical.
What? Really?
Villafort is what, 30 years old? That would have been millions of credits at 10 years old. It's the prime age for a colony.
Why?
The infrastructure alone. Brand new cities, established environmental balance, heavy citizen vetting. A new colony is a shiny new toy, not yet spoiled by all that eventually blows in once they open admittance to wider communities.
Wider communities?
Let the ultra-rich live amongst only themselves in specialty worker sectors for 10 years, and for that exclusivity they will credit roll the entire colony establishment cost. Pay for your spot in advance. When it's ready, you live in that elite paradise for 15 years, and by then the next fresh colony will be ready. Then they market to wider immigration to allow for industrial growth and wider economy to develop on the planet. And eventually basically anyone without a criminal record would be allowed in.
Crisis. I don't know who that sounds more luxurious for. The bourgeoisie living in their own golden idiot bubbles, or the regular people who don't have to deal with them anymore.
10 years in, well, that would be closer to just hundreds of thousands of credits. But even that.
Yeah, but I mean, has Tillian been rich this whole time?
This is making more sense now, given the way, no offence, you do not seem like one to own a private vessel.
Yeah, no. If it's as big a deal as you say, I am not ashamed to admit that I couldn't be furthest from that kind of life. Most money I ever owned at one time was like $800.
Bucks?
I wouldn't know what to convert it to. It wouldn't have been enough to buy a shitty second-hand car in my time.
Where are you from?
To you, might as well be the Stone Age, still swinging in the trees like our monkey ancestors.
You are incredibly confusing.
I'm just from a long way away. It's complicated. I'm trying to get back there, but now it feels like I'm further than ever.
Monkey ancestors?
Yeah, I'm sorry to eavesdrop, but I want to know too.
You know, the things we evolved from. Monkeys.
Evolved from monkeys.
Yeah, the theory of evolution, Darwin. Pretty sure most of the scientific community agreed on it, so I can't imagine science changed its mind.
What's a monkey?
It's like a proto-human?
A what? Look, humans evolved from an animal, a monkey, on planet Earth roughly a couple 100,000 years ago. Actually, plus 900-ish years now.
Earth? I've never heard of that solar system.
It's not a system. Earth is a single planet in the solar system on an arm of the Via Lactea, which was once called something else, but whatever. And on that planet, Homo sapiens, us, evolved from single-cell organisms over millions of years. And one of our closest ancestor creatures are monkeys, more specifically apes.
I'm starting to wonder if perhaps you are just demented.
Especially since humans evolved on 3 different planets simultaneously in parallel evolution.
I don't think that's right either.
So not only is it no longer called Earth, y'all have even forgotten about how we evolved. Tight.
There are hundreds of theories for anything.
Yeah, but we kind of really knew this thing. There was a lot of evidence. Did y'all burn the Library of Alexandria a second time or something?
The Library of who?
Did humanity throw out all the textbooks when we left the original home planet or something? I know politics love to rewrite history, but damn.
This one apparently lived under a rock, so don't be surprised, gentle people.
Well, I mean, a lot of data was lost when Alpha Port C was destroyed. So if you come from that far away, then you could have some ancestral colonial knowledge that the universities haven't recovered yet.
I've got some top-shelf ancestral colonial knowledge that would blow their socks off, trust me.
Well, if I get you in contact with my friend at the Scarborough University, you'd be able to take a deep space jump and get there in no time. Normally it would be 3 weeks on a system skipper.
Deep space jump? Like some kind of warp?
Like a gravity slingshot, I guess.
Honestly, I don't know how you can have come from so far away and hardly know anything.
Just imagine I'm a time traveller if that makes it more palatable. So the university would trade info for some stuff I know.
It's a university. They would tell you for free. But I'm sure they would really appreciate any new reliable data.
The roadmap to the galaxy that I've been looking for.
Glad you lot are embracing the camaraderie that Grimmage can bring, but I hope you know that the pace stays the same regardless of how much sleep you guys have had.
Okay.
For goodness sake.
But it wasn't until the narrowing of the East Tunnel that they finally solved the issue. Since it was the shape causing the whistling when the storms hit, of course.
Makes a lot of sense. Dig it in the shape of a wind instrument and it'll probably sing for you.
So it was my grandfather who headed that team, of which my father was part of it as a junior engineer.
Oh, okay, so that was how he met your mum.
Yes, exactly. It was her department that was assigned by Zealous to oversee the materials and their expenses.
Romantic.
Since Nobi is energy independent, it's a crucial hub for this system, even if they have to schedule around the storms. The conditions are unsuitable for a port, but safe for inhabitants, so it's a compromise that suits everyone.
And you've never left?
Briefly to study at the Orbital University, but once I was a qualified engineer, I joined the business and never needed to leave again. It's a bit of a family tradition that when we retire, we walk the pilgrimages, as a final ode to the tunnels that kept us paid and protected.
Well, that's kind of sweet, actually. Congrats on retirement, I guess.
I would have kept working if the kids hadn't have given me a stern word. Kept going on to me about how I was 50 years past retirement, etc.
Wow, well, you look great for a man of... The retirement age was 65 where I'm from. What's it like these days?
I'm a sporting 100 years. But what could I do? Engineering was my passion.
100? Nobody's days and years were practically identical to Earth's. You look 60 at most. A sprightly 70 at a push.
I appreciate the compliment, my friend. But what you must also consider is a phenomenon where people who have lived their whole lives on Nobi, such as myself, are unusually long-lived.
What, like 50 extra years type of long-lived?
Pretty fascinating, huh? Nobody actually knows why, but most people don't find a lifetime on Nobi as a price worth paying for that prize.
So it's a little stormy. Inside is where the best things are anyway. Oh, mama.
Not to worry, that's what we in the Grimmage industry call tunnel burbs.
Something to want to not be inside about now, actually.
He's right. There are small chambers just beyond the tunnel walls. They kind of like link their way around there and pass bubbles of gases between them as the pressure changes outside in the storm.
Oh, they are the chambers where the Nobonite is formed.
Precisely. And they are the reason why the tunnels turn here and there, to avoid the pockets and leave their structures undisturbed. The pockets that have been breached by the tunnels are the ones that are unattached, and therefore not required in a chain.
Storm makes my AI drunk and the walls are actually fighting. All super great. If I wasn't so preoccupied with my mission and being stuck in a mole tunnel underground, I'm sure I'd stop to really appreciate it.
It must be a pretty significant mission if you choose to be this uncomfortable.
I've never really been claustrophobic before, but I've also never been in a situation quite like this. But I told Bethany I'd be here for this, so... Cave farts.
Tunnel burbs.
Gassy crystals. Amusing either way, eh, Robbie?
I am Robert.
Exactly. You know, maybe the storm is gassing you up too.
I beg your pardon?
You'll live longer, the Nobonite glows brighter, maybe the storms power both of you up the same way. It's all related to Nobi and that's the main variable.
They do power the entire society here too. Perhaps not such a wacky idea.
Powerful storms that ignite the spirit in a special way, be it guys and dolls or rocks and holes. Is that anything?
Who am I to say?
Stalagmites and stalagmates?
Yeah.
Gems and gems? But like gems isn't a good friend. There aren't many people words that rhyme with rock, crystal, or mineral.
I'm struggling to think of anything that rhymes with crystal cleanly.
Doomed from the beginning.
Minstrel?
Perhaps we just enjoy the cave fights in silence for a while.
Can I bring a ladder?
Nope.
Blast.
May I bring a steel chain?
Yes, she definitely has it.
I believe I do.
Well, it's your turn again, so time for another hint.
Okay, I'm going to space and I'm bringing a tree.
A tree? But that isn't metal.
The theme clearly isn't just restricted to metal. Can I bring a baseball bat?
A what?
An orphanage bat. People in the Alpha Quadrant still call it baseball.
Oh, I think I see what you're getting at, so yes, you can come.
Okay, then I think I've got it too.
Can I bring a planet's crust?
Yes, Damo is coming to space.
Ripper.
What? But I give up.
I believe it is things that are made of solid substance but can flex, yes?
Yeah, basically.
Things that would seem stiff and unmoving but actually do.
Yeah.
But hold on, everybody knows that chains move. It would be a bad chain if it didn't.
Yeah, well, personal distinction plays a part in deciding if it matches the theme.
Perhaps if it were a committee rather than one person.
The game would really come alive then.
I'm afraid the game's coming to a close. This is our last 100 metres, people, then we'll have reached Lower Condorcet.
Oh, Syrup, I missed the last cluster while we were playing.
An excuse for you to pilgrimage again, I would assume.
Well, now it is.
If I never walk another tunnel like this, I will die a happy person.
This is the last of my 3 retirement pilgrimages. And I think it was easily the best.
Because of the Nobonite?
No, it was pleasant talking with you. And yesterday with Miss Yang. I don't have many friends left from my younger days. One of the downsides of living longer, I suppose. And I guess I don't quite meet so many new people these days.
Oh, that's kind of whack. You have kids though?
Yes, 3 children, 6 grandchildren, 7 great-grandchildren, 2 great-great-grandchildren, and a great-great-great-grandy.
Whoa.
Only one of my children stayed on Nobi, but the others stayed in the system, so I get to see them once or twice a year. They all do well for themselves. Built great lives out there, so what more could a parent want?
What more could a great-great-great-grandparent want?
Exactly.
Well, maybe one day I'll be back in this neck of the galaxy and we can make some new rock puns.
I'll hold you to it.
Musters and clusters.
Damn it, I was working on clusters since Bethany said it.
Yeah, the moment it came out, I was desperate to figure it out before you guys.
Stone pockets and space rockets.
Oh my god.
Oh, God.
Well.
Oh, sweet justice.
Hoi hoi, look who it is.
Don't talk so loud, my sensor is pounding.
We'll miss atmospheric ions. You back in one piece?
I need to defragment my base drive, but I think
I'll
so.
be damned. An AI with a hangover.
Ugh, did we get the part?
Yes, we did.
The chronometer says it's been 2 days.
I had to be in the moment for a while. Pretty okay.
So now we install the thing and fly off into the sunset?
A sunset named Scarborough University, apparently.
That's nice. Wake me up when we get there.
I'll be damned.